Hey there, YouTube. This is Gun73. It's making a comparison video, and I was asked by someone, and it was basically, oh, with that large Sebenza, what's it comparable to? And I looked at my stuff, and I said, well, it's actually fairly similar to a Paramilitary 2 in terms of size, which is interesting in my opinion, because most people they really want to equate this to the military, but it's honestly Para 2 sized. I mean, if I stand these up, which is kind of hard to do on camera, they are about the same overall length. The Sebenza has a hair bit more length, maybe an eighth of an inch. That's the difference in length standing up. So you can see they're negligible. The interesting thing is that the Paramilitary 2 has a longer handle, but the Sebenza has more blade. That's really interesting. You can see that they're lined up, and you can see the Sebenza has a hair bit more blade, but you can see the handle, the Para 2 is longer. It's kind of interesting. That's where the blade ratio thing comes into play. Blade to handle ratio. But I mean, in terms of steel, they're really close. They're both very smooth knives. They both feel really good in my hand. They both cut very well, although I would guess the Para 2 would cut better because of the harder, they run the steel harder and the full flat grind, so that makes sense. And the blade thicknesses on these are actually also very comparable. Para 2 is a hair thicker because the Sebenza is run at an eighth of an inch, 0.125, which is roughly 3 mils. And the Para 2 is advertised at 3.5, but to my eyes and measurements, it's 4 millimeters, which is 0.156. So it's a hair thicker. But in terms of like toughness and whatnot, in my opinion, the Sebenza is still tougher just because it holds its thickness pretty much the whole way. And if you can see that, let me focus this for you guys. So you can see that, that focus? Nope. It's not wanting to focus. But basically the tip on the Sebenza is thicker than the Para 2. And handle thickness, they are about the same actually, as you can see. So in the pocket they feel very similar, although the Sebenza has a bit more weight, obviously because it has a full tie handle. They both have pivot bushings, although the Sebenza is done better, in my opinion. The Para 2 is nice, but it takes a lot of fit and finish to really do a pivot bushing right, and the Para 2 just doesn't really get it there. It's not quite there. Some of them are perfect, but mine has some blade play, just how it is. I guess I could tighten it down, but it'd be a lot harder to open. So, in the pocket width, obviously a Spyderco is going to be wider. So even though they're about the same length, the Sebenza carries a little bit better, simply because it's narrower. But in terms of blade width, you can see that Sebenza is actually a pretty wide knife, the blade, yet the overall package is fairly narrow. So you get the same width blade as a Para 2, but in terms of width, you can see how much wider a Para 2 is. So the Sebenza doesn't waste any space, that's for sure. So, I mean, I know buying a Sebenza, it's an ordeal, really. A lot of people have it's hard for anyone to justify a $400 knife, but if you want something close in size, a good analog, the Para 2 would be a good option in my opinion. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found that interesting. I thought it was interesting when I noticed it myself. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.